Hello, friends! It's Nomad Brad coming to you from my box truck. We're doing it live every week, 6 p.m. Pacific, from northern Arizona, Sholo to be specific. I'm just hanging out at Nomad Dad's place at the RV park here. Pretty nice little evening. I'm noticing it's getting cooler. The evenings are cooling off, the air temperature's dropping. Nomad Dad's been out there earlier today hanging out. He's He's gone at the moment. He must be inside his rig. Anyway, appreciate you guys for being here. We got a lot to talk about today. There's a lot happening, a lot going on, a lot coming up. Let's see what we got going on. Who's in the chat? Let's see who's with us tonight. John C is here. Polymath is here. Geek with social skills. Happy to see you. Tim Simmons is here. Hello, Tim Simmons. Happy to have you. John C is bringing the jokes. Always appreciate John C's humor. We got Christian and AJ in the chat. Diana Saylor from Kansas City, Missouri. Linda is here. Victor Hewitt. Hello, Victor. Happy to have you. Real Cruz in the chat. We got Dave Hale. Says, oh man, can't wait. Brad streams are so good. I usually have to watch the recording. Happy to have you here, Dave Hale. You caught a live one. Welcome. We got Desert Runner Rick in the chat, hailing from San Diego. We got Slugworth, Team Foothills, making it happen. I'll be back in Foothills very soon. Dino in the chat, Jonathan Romes. Hello, Jonathan. Hello, Dino. Happy to have you here. HBA Dave. Adventures with Super Dave. Hello, sir. Happy to have you. On Track Chronicles. Let's go. So here's what's up. It's a busy time right now. It's currently Wednesday, September 27th. Let me get to my calendar here. So here's what's going on. My plan is to leave northern Arizona next week. I want to be out of here by the 1st, which is Wednesday. So I might actually, next Wednesday's live stream, we might be on the road. We might already be heading west towards San Diego. So that'll be fun. For those of you that want to know about the meetup, I want to tell you right out the gate, we're doing a subscriber meetup in San Diego, California on Saturday, October 18th. Saturday, October 18th, Fiesta Island in Mission Bay, San Diego. As the date gets closer, I'll give you guys a pin, but it's very easy to find. I'm going to be there, of course. E-Bike Van Life is going to be there. Mark is going to be there. Not Wanderbox Mark, but a different Mark that has a box truck. Desert Runner Rick will probably be there. AJ and Chrissy should be there as long as their rig can make the journey. And who else? Oh, Scott is supposed to be there. Scott, I did his electrical over the winter back in El Centro, California. So that's 6 box trucks. 6 box trucks that are going to be hanging out on the beach in San Diego, California, literally 30 feet from the waves crashing. It's going to be fun. So anyone who's in San Diego who wants to come down, who can make it, you're welcome. I'll be doing rig tours, and I'm sure some of the other folks will have their rigs available to look at. I'm sure E-Bike Van Life will be able to show his, and so yeah, come on down, have a hang. We'll probably have to have some snacks there. I noticed E-Bike Van Life. I don't think he's in the chat tonight, but I noticed E-Bike Van Life has a grill. So we might put E-Bike Van Life on grill duty. Maybe we'll cook up some brats or something. But we're going to have a good time. We're going to hang out on the beach. We're going to have fun. And the other thing I'll mention is there is a porta potty right there on Fiesta Island. So if you guys don't have your own rigs, you want to come hang out, eat, drink, there is a bathroom there for you guys. But yeah, bring a chair. Just hang out. We're just going to have good times. So we'll probably sit around and talk and show rigs and talk about rigs and have some snacks and maybe some drinks. So come on down. I'm already buffering. What happened to Starlink? Did it give up on me? Here we go. We're back. I'm already buffering. I wonder if my phone doesn't feel hot. I'm not sure if my phone is overheating. I think it's the phone that's causing an issue because it does. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're back. Hopefully we're back. Hopefully we can continue the stream for quite a while. So let's see. Let me check at the chat. Check at the chat. Lisa from Minnesota. Hello, Lisa. Happy to have you here. We got Flipper. Flipper, you should come down to the San Diego Van Life Meetup, October 18th, Saturday, Fiesta Island. We're going to be doing it live. Philip is here. He has a 94 NPR. Welcome, Philip. Happy to have you in the chat. We got Marcus Allen. Who's from Australia? Someone's from Australia. Welcome. Someone from Dallas. Happy to have you here. Any questions about the meetup? Francis says they'll be at Fiesta Island, so I'll be looking forward to meeting Francis. Mr. Vidiot 420 says, when are you going to be in San Francisco? I'm not sure. I'm planning to go to Oregon this summer, so I might be in San Francisco maybe like May. Might be in San. I'll announce everything before I do it, but maybe in May. You don't have to register. All you got to do is show up. Francis is asking, how do we register for the meetup? There's no registration. It's on a public beach. So anyone can be there. We're not going to be alone. There'll be a lot of other people. It's still early it's late in the season. It's after summer, so the beach shouldn't be crowded, but we'll be on Fiesta Island on the western side of Fiesta. I'll post a map as we get closer, but it's very defined. You can just come anytime. I don't have a specific time schedule set, but I'm just guessing we'll probably do maybe noon to 5. And then if you guys want to stay into the evening, they also have fire pits on the beach in Fiesta Island. So we'll have a bonfire if you guys want to stay late. But I would say probably noon to 5 would be the official time frame. And then it gets dark about 7. So around 7 we could have a fire. So something like that. But I'll post everything official as we get closer. Flipper says, box truck boys. Absolutely. There's going to be a bunch of us. King Gamer, I'm sure, will come too. He's still trying to buy a box truck. Christian with the super chat says, thank you for the advice today. Much appreciated. AJ is having a little solar issues with his box truck, so hopefully he can get those figured out, dialed in, get that solar pumping. Cruz says, I wish I could make it someday. Marcus Allen says, got a barbecue. We're going to put e-bike van life on barbecue duty. He don't know it yet, but it's happening. Adventures with Super Dave. Can't make it to San Diego. I appreciate the super chat, Super Dave. Thank you so much. While we're talking about Super Dave, I've been using the Super Dave toilet every day. It's officially, so the Ogo composting toilet that I have, Wednesday is officially 30 days that I've been using it. And I haven't had to change it out. I dump the urine tank or the liquid waste tank every few days, but the solid waste bin, it's still going strong, and it's been officially 30 days. So I am going to dump it out next week before I head west, but very happy to report that I have got a full month out of the solid waste container, and I ordered some new, the compost medium that you put in the toilet, and I got some on Amazon for only $3 per brick. So what that means is once you buy the toilet ain't cheap. It's like $1,000. Most composting toilets are around 1,000, but once you buy the toilet, your only ongoing expense is once a month you have to buy the Coco Core media, and I got the bricks for only $3 a piece on Amazon. So $3 a month, that's all you got to pay to have your own toilet. I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with that Ogo toilet. Geek with Social Skills says adult beverages on the beach. Yeah, so they do allow you to drink booze. I don't know if it's legal or not, but everybody drinks booze on the beach at Fiesta Island. So if you guys want to bring adult beverages, feel free. I assume it's legal. Everybody drinks down there anyway. I don't know. Proceed with caution. I don't know for sure, but it seems to be fine. Everybody does. Jonathan Rome says Starlink is working, had a couple jitters. Will Lydia Rico be there? That's a good question. Yeah, I'm friends with Lydia. She is or was in Spain, but I'm not sure when she's coming back to San Diego. But if she is back, I will definitely invite her. And if she wants to come, that'd be cool. Lydia's a fun girl, so I'll be happy to have her there if she can make it. I'll have to ask her. Def Shelty Mom says she can't make it. It's the one weekend she's booked. Oh my goodness, sorry to hear that. We'll do more. For anybody that can't make the meetup on October 18th, We will have more. This is just like the first one, but I'll be in San Diego. I'll be back and forth between Arizona and San Diego all winter. So we'll definitely have we'll have a meetup like in well, we have Schoolie Palooza, and then we'll probably have another meetup. I'll definitely do a meetup in the Phoenix area, Phoenix Metro, for you guys that are in Phoenix. I'll do a meetup up there, and then we might do one. Maybe we'll do a meetup in Yuma, and I'll definitely do a couple more in San Diego throughout the winter. So if you can't make this one, there will be another one. So happy to have you guys. Also, cousin Lonnie, I think, is going to be there. I talked to Lonnie the other day. He's been in San Diego for like a month. He loves it. He bought a inflatable paddle board. He's out just living the dream. So I think cousin Lonnie will also be at the meetup. Charlie Pepin says, "How long will you be in San Diego?" My plan to be in San Diego this time for 1 month. The whole month of October, I plan to be in San Diego. And then I'm going to go back to Yuma to wrap up a couple projects. But then I'll be back out in San Diego again. So I'll be back and forth all winter. And I'll announce everything ahead of time. What do we got? What kind of Philip says, what kind of engine is in your rig? It's a 6-liter Chevy gasoline. I sold my other truck. Anybody that's wondering. Doug says, I'll miss this round. I'll be driving north from LA. I'll catch you next time, Doug. We'll definitely have more meetups. No worries, brother. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and it's starting to get dark actually. So I'm going to take you guys outside and show you the progress. If you watched or saw the thumbnail, I got the plumbing in, well, the is partially installed. We got a lot of things partially installed. Let me just let's take you outside and I'll show you guys the progress, and then we'll come back in and we'll do questions and answers. Jonathan Rome says cousin Lonnie has a killer rig. Yeah, I agree. Lonnie's Chinook is pretty nice. Okay, here we go. Let's go outside. I'll show you guys what's happening. A lot of changes. This has been a busy week for Nomad Brad. Every week has been a busy week. So here is the outside of my box, the passenger side. Check it out. Here is my fresh water tank. Nomad Dad helped me mount that up to the bottom of the box truck. We used Unistrut to suck it up in place. And I spray painted the tank black because I wanted to kind of just have it all blend in. When I had just the white tank up there, it stuck out like a sore thumb, and it was just super noticeable. So at least now with that thing blacked out, flat black, it kind of just looks like a storage box. It definitely doesn't instantly register as a water tank. So super happy with that. This is a 65 gallon, by the way. Initially I wanted a 75, but I didn't quite have enough length. This one is already pretty close to the tires. And so a 75, it would have just been too close. And then on the front, I don't have any more length because I'm gonna have steps right under the door. So we got a 65 gallon freshwater. I'm happy. My last rig had a 30 gallon, so this is like twice the capacity. So it's gonna do great. Another thing I'll just mention really quick, my tires are looking pretty rough, so I ordered a new set from American Tire. So I'm gonna switch out my 4 rear tires before I make the pilgrimage west. These are looking pretty rough, and I don't wanna have a blowout. It'd probably tear off my entire water tank. So we're gonna get brand new tires at the end of the week. Water tank looks good. Another thing I did is I put a piece of tape on before I painted it, and then I peeled the tape off so that way I can visually look in and I can just see my water level within the tank. So that's what this white stripe is right here. That's just the white plastic exposed. And I also did the same thing on the front. You see that white stripe? That allows me to visually inspect the water level. I also put in my water fill. So this one is a combination. It has the fresh water where you just like put in a hose. It's a gravity feed. And then it also has a city water connection. So you can thread in a hose, like a garden hose, and then you can just have unlimited fresh water. Marcus is talking about storage boxes. So I'm still planning to put one storage box back here behind the mud flap. I'm gonna have to talk to a welder and have this support for my bumper. I'm gonna have to have that changed. I might have them try to do like an L shape, but I will, and I'm also gonna move my lights back, but I'll have one storage box here, and I'll also have one storage box here. This is pretty deep. I might do like a slide out tray on this one. And then over here, I'll also relocate the license plate light and my rear lights. I'll bring them out. And so I'll also have a storage box here. So I'm still gonna have 3 large storage boxes on the rear for all my tools and my heavy stuff. So still got room for storage boxes, just nothing on the front. And so here's my water system. I wanna say thank you again to all the wonderful subscribers that helped me acquire these items. The 3-stage filtration system and the expansion tank and also the water pump, that was all generously purchased by you guys, and I really appreciate it. So here's what we got going on. I actually mounted a piece of plywood. You can't even tell because it's all blacked out, but I mounted a piece of plywood to the frame with bolts. And then I have all these components screwed into the plywood. So everything's pretty pretty solid. It does flex a little bit. The pump and the accumulator, they have a flexible rubber foot. They're designed to move a little bit. And so what I did is I went with a braided poly tube for my water line, and I did a little bit of a curly Q. And so the reason I did poly tube is the water pump creates a vibration. And so if you hard everything, the vibration will transfer through the rig and you'll hear it. But if you use a flexible water line, then it keeps the vibrations down to a minimum. So I used a poly tube, and keep in mind, this is a braided, it's a braided poly tube. And so it's a little bit stronger. You don't want to use the standard poly tube because it's too weak. So when the pump runs, it'll flex the poly tube. So you want to use the braided stuff. Anyway, so that's what we did here. Someone's commenting about it could allow algae to form. I'm planning this winter, I'm gonna make an insulated cover for all this. So none of this will be exposed to daylight. There'll be a cover that slips over everything. Also, just so that it hides it, because right now it's pretty visible. So I'll make a cover that hides it, prevents sunlight from reaching it. And then additionally, it'll just kind of blend it in and you won't really be able to see what's going on. So that's coming this winter. Outside of the 3-stage water filtration, I just went with hard pipe PVC. I would have used PEX, but I forgot my PEX crimpers in Yuma, and I didn't want to buy PEX, so I just went with PVC. I don't care. It's all good. It's going to be fine. I did buy some insulation I'll put over the PVC. But so that's pretty cool. Excited about the fresh water. I still haven't hooked it up to the pump yet. I need a couple more fittings. So I'm going to go into town tomorrow and grab some fittings. But for anybody wondering, this is the order of operations. When you do a water system, the first thing that comes out of your tank, first the water goes into the pump. The pump pulls water from the tank, and then it pushes water through the line into your accumulator, and the accumulator just kind of takes some of the stress off the pump. It's basically a pressurized reservoir, and so it allows, if you're using like a small amount of water, it doesn't trigger the pump. So it just allows the pump to not short cycle. But anyway, you go into the accumulator, and then you go into your 3-stage filtration, and then you go out to your faucet and shower and hot water tank. So that's kind of the order of operations for plumbing. And then I'll take you guys around. I'm pretty happy with what I did on the driver's side as well. Check this out. You guys weren't expecting this. Look at that. I blacked out the mini split. How cool is that? So again, the mini split just really stood out. Like, you know, when I'm in the parking lot, I can just see it from 100 miles away. So used flat black paint, blacked out the mini split, and look I put in a little throwback sticker to the old rig. I took off the Mr. Cool sticker. And then also I blacked out, yeah, the AC was white. So blacked out all the refrigerant lines. so they were white, right? And so again, it just popped, it caught your attention. So everything's blacked out now. So from a distance, like if you're just glancing, you really can't even tell what you're looking at. And that's kind of the goal, right? Is I just want it to kind of blend in, so it just kind of, it looks a little more stealthy, right? So that's what we did there. And then I put some tape over the name. I could maintain all the specifications on the unit and also the serial number, but otherwise everything else is blacked out. There's that heat shield me and Nomad Dad made. And so my water line comes all the way down here. I still need to connect it up into my sink, but otherwise we're pretty close, pretty close. So anyway, I was super happy with how that turned out. I just used like a Krylon flat black paint. I did like 2 coats and then I hit it with like 3 coats of clear. So it looks really good. Just having that all blacked out. It helps with the stealth. And then also, you know, having the fresh tank as well blacked out. Just kind of stealths it out. So that's what we did. I also blacked out if you guys can see, you can hardly even see it in the video, but I have a water line coming from, so my water fill, it goes into the rig, into the back of my closet, and then it runs over and comes down, and then it drops, you can't even see because of how dark it is. Anyway, it drops down into the tank up top. So I blacked out that water line that was white, so everything's just kind of tucks in. So that's where we're at. And I did get the water line from the faucet started, the poly tube running down through the floor. So I still need to do the electrical. That was kind of one more thing on my list that I didn't get around to. Was the electrical. I just ran out of time. I've been working on plumbing all day. But I'm going to work on that. It's supposed to rain up here Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I'm going to work on the electrical during those days. I'm still waiting on parts from Blue Eddy, but I talked to them and he told me I'll have everything by the end of this week. So I hope that works out and I can get it all put together and installed before I have to leave for San Diego. All right, I'm going to go back and catch up on the chat. What's up, e-bike van life? Coming on in. E-bike says, did I miss the freshwater tank? You sure did, brother. I'll show you really quick. So I went with the 65 gallon. It's all that would, but it's right here. I blacked it out just like the AC unit. So I just hit it with flat black paint. That's a 65 gallon. I wanted a 75, but it wouldn't fit. So that's the freshwater tank. You can hardly even recognize it. It looks like a toolbox. And then down here, I got all my plumbing components. I'm gonna make a insulated cover for all this, so you won't see it. It'll all be stealthy, but yeah, dude, blacking out your tanks is it's a game changer. I think it really helps with the stealth. Because having those big white water tanks, it just kind of screams, you know, camper, RV, van life. So it's pretty easy. I just rattle canned it, you know? So it's pretty simple to do it. I think it's worth it, definitely worth it. Something else, e-bike van life. I mentioned at the start of the live stream tonight, we're doing the subscriber meetup. I already talked to you about it, but October 18th, Saturday. And I volunteered your grill. I see you got like a barbecue grill. So I was thinking for the subscriber meetup, we could maybe grill some brats or something. Just keep it simple. Maybe have some food and then maybe do like a little bonfire or something later. So anyway, I hope you don't mind, but I volunteered your grill. All right, let me hop back to the chat. Let me see what's going on. If you guys have any questions about the stuff I just showed you guys. Dun, 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 dun. Flipper says, how self-sustainable is an internal combustion engine on a huge platform? Electric only is my goal. Flipper's going electric. Sally Berry says, good idea to paint the freshwater tank. I agree. If you have a blowout, it will affect the tank. Absolutely. That's why I'm getting new tires. I don't want to play around. Desert Runner Rick says, you're putting skirts all the way around, aren't you? So that was my plan, was to do skirting all the way around, but I'm gonna see how this paint holds up and how it looks, because if I can just leave the paint and not have to do skirts, that'd be a lot easier. It's not easy to. I looked online. It's not easy to just buy and DIY skirting. You have to have like a kind of a frame to keep it rigid, and it's a little more complex. So if I can just leave it like this, then I won't do skirting. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Janet Hall says, "What did you paint? What did you paint? Did you put on the plywood under the truck so the water doesn't rot it?" Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. So this is going to be in Sunday's video. You guys are early. The live stream. You guys get like during the live stream, you guys just see the finished product. You don't get to see the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it. But if you watch Sunday's video, you'll see. But yeah, so I put plywood down. I bolted it to the frame, and the plywood is what all the plumbing components are mounted to. And so I sprayed the plywood with a rubberized coating. So I like a plasti dip. So the whole plywood is sprayed in rubber plasti dip, and then I also painted over that with black spray paint. But where it's located, it's not going to see too much water. No rain will hit it, and so the only chance it has for water is like from the front wheel when I'm driving. But there's quite a bit of distance and a mud flap, so it's not going to get a ton of water down there. But for what water it does get, the rubberized coating should protect it. And something else I wanted to just tell you guys that I was thinking about today is when you like all the things I do in my box truck, keep in mind, like I'm not a professional. This is the fifth box truck that I've built for myself, but I'm not like a professional, right? I've just figured stuff out along the way. And the difference for me is, because I DIY everything, I do everything myself. A lot of things that I do, I'm just kind of experimenting and trying stuff out. And so I'm a lot of things that I do, I have the mindset that, well, we'll try this. And if it turns out that it doesn't work, then I'll just try something else. Well, that's something that, because I have the skills to build this myself and make adjustments, this is different than if I was a builder building something for somebody else where it has to be 100% complete and like ready for the long haul, right? So it's different when I'm doing this work where if I can try something and if it doesn't work out and I need to redo it, I'm okay with that. So when you look at the stuff I do, keep that in mind, right? Keep that in mind. A lot of times I'm just experimenting and trying things, and I'm also prepared to make changes if those things don't work out properly. Arizona Online says black on the mini split is a brilliant idea, so people aren't tempted to snatch it. Yeah, I think that'll help out for sure. Going through the chat right now. Happy for you. Nicholas says, I'm happy for you. Beautiful build. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm way behind. Will Ty says, did you consider adding an ultraviolet light to your water filtration system? They say you can pull water from a creek, run it through the light in a 3-stage, and it's good to drink. That's interesting. No, I mean I could always add a UV system to it. That's a good idea. Might be something that I will do in the future. But no, I don't have one at this point. John C says, blow out your hair, not your tires. I agree. HBA Dave says, is the black water hooked up? Not yet. Man, I've been working hard every day on this build. I haven't got to that point yet. So I'm not going to have the black tank. At this point, I would stay here longer in Sholo and keep doing projects, but I have to get to San Diego to get help from e-bike van life on my rear door before he starts a big project. So I'm kind of just trying to do the bare minimum to get to San Diego. But no, the black tank isn't hooked up yet. Leighton says, did you paint the tank before install? No, I didn't. Both the tank and the mini split got painted afterwards. I just painted them in place. So the back of the tank is still clear. Slugworth, love the black. Could you paint black those 3 water canisters? Yeah, I thought about painting the water filters black, but I'm just gonna wait and do a cover for all the components. So I'm not gonna paint the canisters black. But right now they kind of jump out at you. Um, I don't know. Maybe I should just shoot them black before I go to San Diego. I don't know. I'll see if I have time. I'm coming down on such a time crunch. I'll just have to see what I have time for. Live build. People want live build videos. I did a few live build videos this summer. If you look at my live streams, I did a few. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna do this winter. I've just right now I'm on a time crunch, but like all my cabinets, my upper cabinets, I could do live build videos for that. Maybe some shower stuff, the water tank maybe. So I'll try to. I've just been, yeah, I'll try to for sure. E-bike van life says, if you're getting new tires all around, have you checked to see if you can fit a larger tire? It might look pretty good. Um, Man, I didn't even think about that, honestly. So the front tires are good. He replaced those not that long ago. It's only the 4 in the back that are bad. So I just called Discount Tire and gave him my size to get new ones. I didn't think about a bigger tire, honestly. Arizona Online says, do you still have an Amazon wish list for anyone wanting their name on the desktop? So the desktop is complete. I have like 53 people that contributed, and so I closed that out. So that's done. I don't want to try to cram more than 53 names on the desktop. I still want it to, visually look good. So no, that's closed out. I do have a wish list for on Amazon. I don't really need a whole lot of individual components. I mean, the reality is, living in a box truck, you're kind of a minimalist, and so there's not a lot of stuff I need, like, yeah, at this point. But I did put a link in the description if you guys want to contribute um, for my power steps. I gotta get the steps put on, so I'll be doing that in Yuma when I go back from San Diego. Um, Oh yeah, Desert Runner Rick says, Dave, if you need help grilling, I'm there. I forgot. Desert Runner Rick is an excellent cook. He grilled up a bunch of stuff for us when we had a meetup last winter in California, Eastern California, El Centro. So yeah, Desert Runner Rick's gonna be there. If you want to help out with the grilling and chilling, man, that'd be cool. Um, yeah, you did some good stuff last time, brother. It was awesome. So a couple people are asking about the buyers on my old rig. So funny story, I got a message. So the new buyers, they're loving the rig. They're in California. They're driving all over the place. Somebody actually commented on one of my videos that they saw my rig driving through California with a guy with like long gray hair driving it. And so that's the new owners. Um, but yeah, they've been enjoying it. It's been working great for them. But the new owners messaged me and they told me someone tried to break into the, or did, someone broke into the rig. They jammed a screwdriver in, they like busted out the driver's door lock, and then they busted out the ignition cylinder, but something spooked them and they left. So they didn't actually steal the rig. And what's funny is I never talk about it on YouTube, but I installed the kill switch, a hidden kill switch in that van. And so I always used it, and so I felt super safe because I knew if someone broke in, they'd never be able to steal it. But the new buyer said he never used the kill switch, and then when they tried to steal it, then he started using the kill switch. So it's got protection built in. Now he's gonna. So I'm glad he learned his lesson without actually having to go through the loss of the vehicle. So hopefully it doesn't get broken into again, and hopefully if it does, they definitely don't steal it. But I thought that was kind of an interesting story. But they left the wrap on it, so you guys definitely might see the Solar Service Mobile driving through California. Nomad Tim says if the black paint doesn't hold up, maybe black wrap. Yeah, it could. The problem is the plastic. So I know the paint on the mini split will be fine because that's steel. But the problem is that water tank is made out of polyethylene plastic. And I researched it. It's a very difficult plastic to get paint to stick to. So I'm honestly not expecting it to last. I'm expecting it's probably going to flake off. And so I'll have to make some kind of a cover or something over it, something that I can paint better. So uh, I'll most likely have to do something different on the fresh tank, but at least hopefully it lasts through San Diego and it'll help me do some stealth camping. Bella E says, I can't wait to see the back door with the window. I'm excited. HBA Dave, yeah, e-bike is going to help me with the back door build. He just did his, I don't know, like a month ago. It turned out awesome. So that's the whole reason I'm like hurrying to try to get out of here is so I can go get some help from Dave. But otherwise, I would stay here another month and I would just knock out a bunch of projects. But it's all good. It's all good, man. We're just going to do what we got to do. Ray Sands says, hello, Nomad Brad. Hello, Ray. Happy to have you. Yeah, David says when you build a cover for the tank, make sure you build a cover for the battery. I do need a cover for the battery to keep the cables from getting corroded again. Rick Turner says, do you ever make trips to Texas? I do not. I was in Texas for like 2 years. I won't go back. The weather's terrible. For living in a vehicle, Texas is rough. Ray Sands with a super chat. Thank you so much, Ray. I appreciate you. It's going towards the build. We got Mike here. Says with another super chat. Thank you, Mike. Mike Fahey. Mike Fahey. With that many trucks at the meetup will be great to get so many ideas on my build. Also, is there a boardwalk at the beach at the meetup? No. So actually, the place we're doing the meetup is called Fiesta Island. It's actually an island in Mission Bay. So you can walk around the whole island. You're right on the ocean, but there's no boardwalk. However, we're only like maybe 4 miles from Ocean Beach, OB. So if you do want a boardwalk, OB has one. So that's an option for you. After the meet or before the meet or whatever, you could go down to OB and hit the boardwalk. When will you be installing the new Blue Eddy power system? I'm going to be installing the Blue Eddy system Friday, Saturday, for sure. I have to install it. They still owe me 2 components, but technically I can still make it work without those components. So either way, I'm installing the Blue Eddy this weekend. I have to. I need more battery power than what the Apex 300 can deliver. So I'll be definitely installing that Friday, Saturday, for sure, 100%. Uh, race. Did you get the oil change? No oil change, man. No oil change. Sharon B says Van Life Meow put off-road tires on his box truck. Oh man, I came in late. Can I see the plumbing? No, it's dark outside now. I can't show you. You have to watch the replay. Look, it's it's dark outside. So sorry, man. I already reshowed the plumbing for e-bike van life. He was late. But yeah, you'll have to just watch the replay. I did quite an extensive tour on it. Cruz is out. Good night, Cruz. Happy to have you here. Def Shelty Mom says, glad the rig didn't get stolen. I agree, man. That would have been a bummer. Janet Hall says, what about using truck bed liner paint? Yeah, I could try that out. I'm open to suggestions. Garrison says, are you putting your business logo on the truck? I will eventually, but not now. That's pretty far down the list. I might even do it maybe early spring, maybe not even till next winter. It's that's like at the end of my to-do list to wrap it. So we'll find out. George says use aluminum diamond plate for the covers. Yeah, I could. I know they make black aluminum diamond plate. So that's actually a good suggestion. I might consider doing that. Appreciate it, George. Revo Runner just watched e-bike van life's rear door build. It turned out awesome. I agree. I thought it turned out super cool. He did a good job. That's why I'm going down to get his help, man. Super Dave asks if I'm adding a kill switch to the new rig. Absolutely. John C. Fiesta Island is the new fantasy island. Oh boy. Oh yeah, there's a boardwalk at Belmont Park. I guess yeah, I guess Belmont Park is a more traditional boardwalk. Ocean Beach has like a pier, although I think the pier might be closed. Anyway, I don't know. You guys will figure it out. But yeah, there's definitely a boardwalk at Belmont Park. They have like an arcade and shops and all that kind of stuff. That's still really close. It's still within like 4 miles. Raphael, did you sell the other vehicle? I absolutely did. Absolutely. It's sold. It's gone. On to the new owners. We got over 600 viewers in the live stream. Happy to hear it. Thank you, Lauren, for the update. I can't tell on the laptop. It doesn't tell me how many people are in here. Numero Tinko, is box truck harder than van with same size to drive? Same size. I mean, if it's the same size, no, it's not going to make a difference. Box trucks are smaller, so maybe, but not really. I don't know. It's fine. Box trucks are. Keep in mind, like U-Hauls. I mean, all kinds of people drive U-Hauls. It doesn't take any kind of special experience. My mom's like, how old is my mom? She's almost 70. She drove a U-Haul from Lake Havasu to Texas, full of all her stuff, the same size as my last U-Haul. So it's not difficult to drive. What are you going to use for a window covering? So I have window coverings. I have my blackout curtains, and I'll make a video on those. I just haven't had time to make them yet, but I have the material. So it's possible I don't have time, but I might have to wait and make the window coverings in San Diego. So we'll see what happens, but I have them. I have the window coverings, so I will definitely be installing them soon. Because yeah, you can't really stealth camp and have lights on inside. Like when I'm stealth camping here in town, I basically at night I just turn all the lights out. So I definitely am looking forward to getting window coverings. Flipper says MPG has to be about 10 miles per gallon. Yeah, I agree. I don't know what the MPG is for sure. I'll let you guys know. HBA Dave says, when are you installing your mini stove hood? Mini stove hood. Well, that's two different things. There's going to be a hood that goes over the induction cooktop. And so I won't be able to install that until this winter because I have to do my upper cabinets. So I have to mount the upper cabinets, and then the hood gets mounted to the bottom of the upper cabinets. So that's something that I'll do this winter in Yuma. And then the stove, the Wonder Oven, that was graciously purchased for me from my Amazon list, that's going to go down below my countertop. And so that also, I won't be able to install that until this winter when I get back to Yuma, because I'm going to have to put some ventilation down there and a fan to make sure that it stays cool. So that's a whole nother project, but we'll definitely get to it. Hey, Jonathan Rome says it's not about the miles per gallon, it's about the smiles per mile. I agree with you. So the thing is, people ask about fuel economy, and I've told you guys multiple times what my monthly expenses are. And the reality is, fuel economy doesn't really matter to me because I don't pay rent or water or sewer or electric or garbage or renter's insurance. So my monthly overhead is really low. So whether I'm getting 20 miles a gallon or 8 miles a gallon, it just doesn't matter to me. I'm still spending such a small amount on a monthly basis that it all works out. And so, the thing too is, for the most part, I don't do, you know, if you guys watched my videos earlier, I don't do like huge cross country road trips. I basically stay to the desert Southwest, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, Southern California. In the summer, I like to adventure a little bit more. This summer, I'm planning to go up to Southern Washington. Maybe next summer, I'll go like to Idaho or something. But that's really just like, maybe that's like 1,000 miles each way, right? So that's something for fuel economy, fuel expense. But once I get to my destination, then I'm just kind of staying in that area. So I might drive 1,000 miles to get to Oregon, but once I'm there, I'm just kind of within a few hundred miles. So I know it seems like if you live in your vehicle, you're driving all day and you must spend a ton on gas. But the reality is, I still use less fuel than a regular person that lives in a home or an apartment that commutes to work and that, goes out every day to go to the gym, to get groceries, to go shopping, to do all their stuff. Like, you don't realize how much the average person drives, but the average American is driving almost every day. And so with this lifestyle, I usually park and I don't move for 4, 5, 6 days at a time. So it all averages out, and fuel economy really doesn't matter as much as you think it would. The only thing that matters is if you're going to be doing huge cross country trips. If you're thinking you're going to go from California to Florida to Maine to Oregon, like all over, then it's something to consider. But for me and my lifestyle, it doesn't factor in that much. Johnny Blaze, what's going on, Johnny Blaze? He says, when you build the back flip up doors, are you using the existing door? Absolutely not. So the existing door, it's super heavy, and it's got a bunch of dry rot in it. It's old and tired. So I'm gonna be ripping out the entire door, scrapping it, and I'm gonna build a new lightweight door that's basically just gonna be plywood and foam board. So it's going to weigh a lot less and it'll be brand new materials. So I'm not reusing that door. That door is way too heavy. Gen Xer says, if money wasn't an issue, would you have still built out a box truck or would you have done something different? Who says money was an issue? I chose this lifestyle. And I love my box truck. This is the third box truck that I've built out and lived in, and I love it. So yeah, I would definitely do a box truck. If I was a multimillionaire, the reality is, if I was a multimillionaire today, I would just go buy 10 acres somewhere beautiful, and I would still travel probably 6 months a year in my box truck. I love it. It's so much fun. I'm in it for the adventure. I'm not in it because I can't afford anything else. And that makes sense. So I hope you guys understand that, a lot of people live in vehicles because they can't afford anything else, but a lot of other people live in vehicles because they want the freedom and the adventure. And that's the category I fall into. Rack says, check out Stone Coat Countertop. They also have a YouTube channel, some cool ideas for epoxy and shower boxes. Yeah, man, I'll check it out. Stone Coat. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Are you installing a shower? Absolutely, Ken. I am. I have a shower stall built. I just need to plumb it and install a water heater. So I'll be doing that this winter. Mr. Vidiot 420 says, I'm planning to install 3,000 watts of solar panels on my 26-foot box. Will the Blue Eddy system you install handle that much solar? 3,000 watts? Yes. Yeah, so the Blue Eddy system can handle 3,600 watts is the maximum that it can handle. Let me think about that. 1, 2, 8 times 2 is 16. Yeah, so the Blue Eddy, so here's the thing. The Blue Eddy system I'm installing, it's an all-in-one. It has a built-in charge controller. That all-in-one system can handle up to 3,600 watts of solar. But here's the thing. Because it has a separate battery bank, so it's not a power station. The battery bank is separate. And the cool thing is you can use any batteries you want. You don't have to use Blue Eddy's batteries. So what that means is you could add on a separate charge controller. So I think the Blue Eddy system is going to be awesome for some other features it has that I'll show you guys. Besides it being user-friendly and easy to install, the benefit is you could add a separate charge controller directly to the batteries if you want to install more solar. So it's a very modular, flexible system. Barry says, do you notice the difference driving the new truck as you're sitting over the front axle? So you feel the bumps more. A lot of people ask that. In fact, when I bought this box truck, I'd never driven this style before, a cab over, and I was hesitant because everybody told me they're super bumpy and uncomfortable. But the reality is, it's different from driving my last box truck, but it's not worse. So the thing is, with the Econoline that I had, when I would hit like big bumps, like potholes or rough road, it was like a pretty hard impact. Like it would hit hard. The difference is in this cab over, I don't know how else to explain it, but in the cab over, when I'm driving it, it's more like a boat. Like it's more floaty. And so when I hit bumps, it's more of this floating. It's not like a sharp impact. It's like a float, but it's really not, to me, it's not any worse than the Econoline. It's different, but it's not worse. So I would say don't worry about it. And this is an old one. This is a 2006. I did some research, and it looks like if you get a 2015 or newer, they did some changes to the suspension in the cab that make it a even smoother ride. So, but I would say no, it's not worse than the Econoline. We got Ken Wing joined as a Platinum Nomad. He joined the membership program. Thank you so much, Ken. Happy to have you on board. Super Dave says they make a carbon fiber weave epoxy countertop. I've never even heard of that. I got to look this up right now. Carbon fiber epoxy resin? I've never heard of this. What does it look like? Oh, I see okay, I see. Yeah, so this is the same stuff they use on like vehicles. You're just getting sheets of carbon fiber and then you're putting epoxy over it. Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool look. I don't think I'll do that in this rig. A little more industrial than what I'm looking for, but that is cool. That would look cool in the right build for sure. All right, let me go down the chat here. Rick Turner says, I like to use an air fryer for a lot of my meals. That's fine. I have an air fryer. I haven't installed it yet, but I have a Wonder Oven, and that is an air fryer. It's fine. I mean, yeah, I mean, I use my cooktop, can pull 1,500 watts. My Instant Pot pulls 800. It doesn't really matter. As long as you just have the proper power system, you can do whatever you want. So, you know, just make sure you have the right solar and battery system, and it's not a problem to use an air fryer at all. Ken says, I look forward to meeting you next month. Hell yeah, Ken's coming down to the meetup. Happy to hear about it, man. Haven't seen the HBA Dave says haven't seen the Instant Pot lately. Yeah, most of the videos I've just been doing cooking on the skillet on the cooktop, but I have the Instant Pot. I just used it the other day to cook potatoes. You know what? It's going to be in Sunday's video, actually. Sunday's video is the plumbing and a stealth camp in town, and I cook dinner. So Sunday is a little bit of everything, building, stealth camping, cooking. So stay tuned for that, and you'll see the cooktop as well as the Instant Pot. Ask and you shall receive, sir. Giant Sword Workout. What's going on, brother? Happy to see you. I met Giant Sword Workout in a Planet Fitness parking lot in Milpitas, California last winter. Super nice dude. He was living in a van at the time. He upgraded to a box truck. He's doing a box truck build himself. He says, "What's your estimated total money into the new box truck?" So I actually did numbers the other day, and the value of all the equipment in on the build minus the electrical is about $10,000. So all the plywood, the fridge, so I included everything, even things that were sponsored or paid for by channel members, which I appreciate greatly. I just put together a list for the total value of all the units and all the pieces inside, so someone can know what it costs to build out a rig like this. Now the build's not complete, but as it sits today, the rig itself I purchased for $10,500, and then I have about $10,000 in materials. So about $21,000 gets you to this point. 10,000 for the materials, 10,500 for the truck. Hope that helps you out. Raphael says, "Who is your hairstylist?" That's me, baby. You're looking at him. Ken says, "Where would you buy 10 acres?" I'd like to buy 10 acres here in Arizona. I'm thinking somewhere down by Tucson. They have some areas that are actually pretty green down there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's where I'm looking for property at. Francis says, "I mentioned that I was going to be, I built this rig with the consideration for storing my tools. Which cabinet or drawer are your tools going to be in?" You're not planning to break in, are you, Francis? Uh, this whole this whole cabinet here uh, is for tools. It's already got a bunch of tools in it. They're just in boxes, but that whole cabinet is for tools. And then also, I'm going to do some rear storage boxes, which will also be for tools. Yeah, the old truck was maxed out. I could have put a little bit of under storage, but there just wasn't enough space. Also, I got the van weighed a couple weeks ago. As it sits right now, it weighs about 11,000 pounds. For anybody that's curious, with the build to where it's at, the maximum weight capacity of this vehicle is 14,500. So I can still put 30. I can still add 3,500 pounds to this rig to be within weight limit, and that'll be no problem. So we're looking good on weight for the. Michael St. Clair says, "I'm old and crippled, but I love and watch your adventures, sir." Thank you, Michael. Happy to have you here. Happy to have you watching along, even if you can't do the adventuring yourself. I'm glad find some adventure by watching the videos. And as soon as I hit the road next week going to San Diego, it's going to be a whole bunch of new adventures. We'll see how the truck performs. I haven't driven it that far yet, so hopefully no breakdowns, but if I have breakdowns, it'll make a good video for you guys. And so we'll be going over to San Diego, doing a bunch of stealth camping and traveling around, building a lot of fun stuff. So if you're here for the adventures, next week will be the beginning of a whole series of adventures. So stay tuned. Jano says, how long will it take to get the back door installed? I'm not sure. I asked eBike Van Life. He said maybe like 3-4 days. It's a process because you have to paint, let the paint dry. So, I'm hoping within 3 or 4 days it can be installed. It shouldn't be that much of a technical difficulty, but I think it's just a lot of time in between stages. Eunice Duncan says, do many box truck owners upgrade their seats or are they great quality? I always buy seat cushions. So that's what I would say is even in the Econo line in this rig, I just buy the memory foam seat cushion and like a lumbar support and it works out great. It's cheap, it's easy, and it's effective. So that's what I recommend. Robzius says you can generally drive anywhere, but what about hail? Um, I don't really hang out in places that have huge hailstorms. That's mostly like a Midwest thing. But yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do to avoid it. It's only a freak hailstorm that's really strong enough to break solar panels. It's happened. There was an entire solar panel farm that got destroyed. I think it was in Texas. They had a huge hailstorm, but I mean, yeah, if you're going to be in an area with a huge hailstorm, I would try to find cover. So I mean, even if you have to pull into a gas station and just park under the awning, right? Most gas stations have covered awnings above the pumps. So, like, worst case scenario, if there's a hailstorm, I would just go park under an awning at a gas station. I mean, do what you got to do. The bitter old queen says, "Say hi to Nomad Dad. He's so cool." Thank you, bitter old queen. I appreciate it. I will. I will tell Nomad Dad you said hi. He might even be watching. Slugworth says the espresso machine. I sold it with the old van. I don't have one. I'm just using a French press right now. It's working out pretty good. Javier says hello from Tijuana. Hello, Javier. Happy to see you. South of the border. Mr. Vidiot says, what stair system are you planning on installing? I'm doing the Power Steps by Quickie. Quickie, it's the Quickie Series 25. It's a 3-step system. Because of how high my box is off the ground, I have to get the triple step. So they make one. It's 24 inches wide, the same width as my door, 3 steps down. It ain't cheap though. It's like $1,300 or $1,400, but I want to do Power Steps because I do a lot of stealth camping in cities. And if you have the manual steps, then you have to like fold them up and then crawl up inside the rig. I don't want to be having to do that all the time. So I got to do the Power Steps. But if you guys are on a budget, you can get the folding steps for like $300. They're not expensive. I wish the power ones weren't such a drastic increase. It seems kind of crazy. The manual ones are 300 and the power steps are 1300. It's a big jump, but you know, buy once, cry once. That's what they say. Arizona Online says, can people still get their name on the epoxy desktop? They cannot. Unfortunately, the list is closed. Sorry, man. I appreciate the support, but the list is full. We can't fit any more names on the countertop. When the big one, Geek with Social Skills says, when the big one hits, Tucson will be beachfront property. There you go. I'll be living on the beach, baby. Eunice, no, Earline Brown with a super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Appreciate the support. HBA Dave says, I thought you were putting in the electrical. Did I miss something? I'm still waiting on parts from Blue Eddy. There's 2 components that they just, so this is a brand new system. It's not even for sale yet, retail. And they shipped me most of the stuff, but there's two things that I haven't received yet. And so he told me that I'll receive them this week. It's already Wednesday. I don't have them, but hopefully I get them by the end of the week. But either way, I have to do the electrical this weekend. So even if I don't, the thing is, I can install the electrical and have it functional without these two parts, but I'll have to do a bunch of extra work. And then when I get the new parts, I'll have to like redo it. So I'm trying to not have to do that. I want to just do it once, do it right. But worst case scenario, I'll install everything that I have already. I'll have to makeshift some stuff, and then I'll have to go back and redo it when I get the new parts. So that's what we're waiting on. But either way, I will be installing the electrical Friday and Saturday. Jerry Talley says, "Hey Brad, enjoying the new build step by step. Hope you don't break down. We'd rather just see build videos." Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate it. Although that breakdown video that I did a couple weeks ago, it worked out pretty well. The people liked it. I got a lot of views, so people like a little tragedy. So whatever happens, man, it'll be on the internet. Numero Tinko says, "Will you make collab with other van life YouTubers?" I'm always open to collabs, but the thing is, I'm a pretty small channel. I'm almost 100,000. Usually, the big channels all kind of stick together, right? So, like Trent the Traveler, he has over 1 million subscribers. The odds are he's not going to do a collab with me on a 100K channel. But yeah, I'm open to anything. Anyone that wants to have a collab, I'm open. No shade here. Where in San Diego? We're doing a meetup on Fiesta Island, and I'll announce like an official I'll give like an official pin, location, and time and everything as we get closer. But it's going to be Saturday, October 18th. If you guys want to be there in Mission Bay on Fiesta Island specifically. So Fiesta Island. Sevi M is here. Says, "Hi Brad, how are you?" I'm doing fantastic. Happy to be hanging out with you guys tonight, talking about box trucks and stealth camping. Wild Bill Adventures says, "Hey Brad, seen one of those doors you're getting on a video the other day. That's going to be sweet." I agree. I'm excited about it. E-Bike Van Life's going to help me out. And I think E-Bike Van Life is open to doing door builds for other people. So if you got a box truck and you want a cool fold up, fold down door, and you can make it to San Diego, I'm pretty sure E-Bike Van Life will help you out with that. Flipper says, "Will Ty has an interesting take on what your kitchen appliances should be. Maybe a 10-in-1 toaster." Yeah, well, Flipper, that Wonder Oven I have, it does all that. It bakes, it toasts. You can add water to it so you can actually steam things. And it's also an air fryer. So that Wonder Oven is basically everything except it's not quite an instant pot. It doesn't have the pressure that an instant pot does. But yeah, the between the Wonder Oven and the instant pot and the cooktop, that's really all you need. Nair Narum Sin Gabriel says, "Did you ever consider a step van?" I don't like step vans because they're too narrow. They don't make step vans as wide as a box truck. I want it as wide as I could get. This is almost 8 feet wide, and so most step vans are like 7 feet wide. That's why I didn't choose a step van. Jonathan Romes with a super chat. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate you. He says, "Looking forward to the electrical install. Been holding on that part of my build for your thoughts on the system. Out for the night." Thank you, Jonathan Romes. I appreciate you. Yeah, dude. So I'll be installing the Blue Eddy, the new electrical system this weekend, no matter what, whether I have all the parts or not. So definitely check it out. I hope I have all the parts because there's some really cool features that it does with I'm waiting on the control screen and the breaker box. And those are like smart devices where they communicate with the app. You can turn circuits on and off through the app, and you can control things through the touch screen. So altogether, it's a super slick system, and it's pretty robust. And I like that you can use whatever brand batteries you want. You don't have to use Blue Eddy batteries. So I think it's a pretty slick system. Definitely stay tuned for that. Typo Tech says, "Are you not worried about your tanks freezing?" I'm not worried about that. No. I went to Arkansas 3 years ago in my last box truck. I had a 30-gallon freshwater mounted up under the rig, no insulation. It was 14 degrees, and I was there for a week, and my water tank did not freeze. So I don't know what to say. I thought it would. I thought it would. It did not freeze. 14 degrees for a week. So I don't know what to say. And the thing is too, I do not spend a lot of time in cold weather. I would say if you're somebody that plans on spending a lot of time in cold weather, if you're going to be up in the mountains doing snowboarding, then yeah, you might want to insulate your water tank, but I'm not a cold weather man. I'm a warm weather man. So I avoid cold weather. Did we just lose the live stream? My YouTube page just timed out. No, it looks like we're still going. Man, I don't know what's going on. My YouTube page just timed out. Anyway, it looks like we're still live, so hopefully you guys can hear me. Um, Let me go back to the chat. I just finished with Jonathan Romes. I finished talking about the water tank. Francis says, "How are we celebrating your 1,000 subscriber milestone?" Well, I'm doing the custom epoxy countertop. I'm getting the 100,000 subscriber plaque. A lot of you guys already contributed to the table, so I'm going to be building a custom countertop with Nomad Dad. We're going to do some cool orange and pearl epoxy. We're going to put all the member names that contributed. We're going to put your guys' names into the countertop, seal it in with the 100K plaque forever. And so that's going to be pretty fun. Of course, I'll do a 100K live stream. So that'll be fun. Stay tuned for that. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm at 96,000 subscribers. So there's a possibility I hit 100K in San Diego in October. It's a possibility. So I don't know. But, maybe we'll just have a party on the beach or something. Who knows? Eunice Duncan says water filtration system looks good. Does it have a UV light? It does not have a UV light, although I could add one if I need one. I hadn't thought about it honestly until someone mentioned it tonight. Streets de Dawn says, "Do you plan on working on the engine to prevent future breakdown?" Yeah, I always try to do preventative maintenance. So I want to do the serpentine belt and the alternator. I probably won't do it till I get to Yuma, so hopefully it doesn't break down on the road. But I'll do those two items. Probably plugs just because they're easy. It looks like the water pump has already been replaced. The radiator's already been replaced. So I'll go through and look at some other stuff. But beyond that, there's not a lot to do. The problem is with my vehicle being like 20 years old. With the vehicle being 20 years old, all the connectors and the wiring stuff can be brittle. And so it's hard to really be preventative about that stuff. So I don't know what to say. We'll just take it as it comes. Take it as it comes and make videos out of it. Paul says, "What was your favorite home you built?" Well, this home's not done, but this is going to be my favorite. The thing that I'm most excited about is the door. The door in the back is going to allow me to make awesome videos. So I got to say, this build is my favorite. I love driving. Out of all the vehicles I've owned, this is my favorite vehicle to drive. Being in that cab over, it turns super tight. You can see, like, the windows are huge. You can see so much out of it. It's definitely my favorite vehicle to drive. And I do believe when I get that rear door done, this is going to be my favorite vehicle to live in, 100%. Giant Sword Workout says, "I love the breakdown videos because it shows how to stay calm and how easy it is to navigate issues. I don't travel much in my van because of a breakdown possibility, but you inspire me." Yeah, absolutely, man. The great thing is, even if you break down, you have your home with you. So it always sucks to break down, but it's like, you can make food, use the restroom, work on the computer, take a nap, watch TV. You can do whatever you want. So it's not really the end of the world. You can always call a mobile mechanic to help you out. So that way you can just hang out in your rig while they work on it. If you do have to get towed to a shop, I would suggest trying to call around ahead of time and try to find a shop that will allow you to stay in your rig on their property while they work on it. I broke down in my very first van, my E250 cargo van. I broke down in Southern Oregon and I found a shop. It was a small town, but I found a shop that was cool with letting me stay in my rig in their parking lot while, for like 3 days while they worked on it. So that worked out. It was super awesome. So that would be my suggestion. Geek with Social Skills says, how much weight will the new back door add? The new back door will actually be a net negative. It will weigh less than this door. So this rear door is like very thick, heavy plywood, top to bottom. It's it's probably like 3/4 of an inch thick. The new door is going to be basically two thin sheets of plywood with insulation in between. So the new door will weigh less than this door. Also, I removed the roller. So this door, it has a big roll-up mechanism on top with a spring. It's super heavy. It probably weighs 50 pounds. So I already pulled all that out. So I'm already saving weight by having that mechanism gone. E-bike van life says it looks like he's gonna do one of these doors on Scott's rig. One of his cables just broke, so it's a little higher on the priority list. Okay, yeah. So the reason I'm rushing down to San Diego is because I only have 2 weeks in October until E-bike van life is gonna start working on Scott's build out. Scott is the guy I did his electrical for in El Centro, California last winter. So he's hiring E-bike van life to do some build out work for him on the interior. And it looks like he's going to do a flip up, fold down door for Scott. So if you want a door done, E-bike van life will do it for you. Giant Sword Workout has a Tommy lift gate. Yeah, if you have a lift gate on the back, you don't need to do the flip up, flip down door if you don't want. Or you could have just the back, you could have it just flip up and then use your Tommy gate as the deck portion. So you got options, man. Nautilus says you should do a live stream for the meetup for those that can't make it. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll do that 100%. We will do a live stream of the subscriber meetup on the beach in Fiesta Island. You got it. 100%, my man. VA Hunter says, hey, Brad, longtime subscriber, first time chat. My wife and I enjoy your videos, living our dreams through your build. Thank you, VA Hunter. Happy to have you here in the chat as your first chat. Welcome. And yeah, I'm happy. I know a lot of people that watch my videos, they can't do it themselves, but they like to watch the adventure. So I'm happy to bring you guys along. And if you're in it for the adventure, starting next week when I head to San Diego, there's going to be a whole lot of exciting adventure videos coming. Stay tuned for that. Christopher Walters says, one of the things I really liked about your last video was seeing you literally doing repairs on your truck, learning about the starter and electric. It was fascinating. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be doing the alternator and the serpentine belt this winter in Yuma, so I'll make a video out of that. Or sooner. If it breaks down on me, might be doing it sooner. We'll find out. Angel says, do you find it challenging to find places to park overnight? Not really. No, you get used to it. It's a skill, just like anything else. Uh, so I mean, sometimes it's more challenging than other times, but I always find a place. Always. It's not that big of a deal. Paul is out. Good night, Paul. Happy to have you. Share your email if you can. Sucks trying through. Yeah, my email. Oh, wait, are you asking me? Who are you asking for an email? I don't know who. If you're asking for me, my email is nomadbrad503 at gmail.com. And if you want someone else's email, I'm happy to try to connect you guys if you can't reach the person you want to talk to. I'm happy to be a moderator. Uh, Al Apla Plaque says, "Do you feel the truck is reliable to do some outdoor adventures?" We're gonna find out. I did drive it from the valley in Arizona up to Show Low, which was like 300 miles. But driving from here in Show Low to San Diego is going to be the longest stretch of mileage I've put on the rig. So we'll find out. We'll find out together. I have no idea. Desert Runner Rick says, "Can I put my name on that ghetto back roll-up door?" I mean, you can, but it's going to get ripped out in a couple weeks. Dragon says, "Hello from Slovenia. What's up? When are you going to change the door?" I'm changing the door in about a week. I'm leaving next week to go to San Diego, and as soon as I get there, we're going to change out that door. It's coming soon. Just rolling through the chat here. Yeah, Slovenia is a long way away. Happy to have you here. Patty S says it never hurts to ask to stay in a parking lot overnight. We went to Long Island, stayed in the parking lot of the caterer after a wedding. Yeah, you guys can ask if you want to try to find a spot to stay overnight. That could work. Large Mammal says, "E-bike van life, really enjoy your build videos. Rear door replacement video was great." I agree. If you guys want to see the rear door replacement video, E-bike van life has one on his channel, and he's using it. He's using it in his live streams too. Oh yeah, on Scott's truck they're going to do barn doors because Scott has a lift gate, so that's cool. So when E-bike van life does Scott's rear door. On the bottom, they're doing barn doors where the bottom opens out like this, and then the top still flips up. So, because Scott has a lift gate. So, that would be something that Giant Sword Workout could consider. And anybody who has a lift gate, that's the style door you would want to do. Flipper says, "I will be on the live stream. I'll bring my camera, food, electric car, and good vibes." There it is. Flipper will be there. A Raymond Peters says, "Watching from my Ford E350 box van in Baja." Happy to hear it, man. Happy to hear you're down in Baja living the dream. I'm definitely interested in going down there at some point. My buddy Walt goes down there every winter. The guy whose property I was staying at up here, he goes to Baja every winter. They do a big caravan, a big nomad caravan down there. What about security cameras? Yeah, I'm adding security cameras. I just haven't got to it yet, but I'll definitely be adding them. Arizona Online says, "Will you have a spot for the e-bike?" It's going to be on the passenger seat. There's nowhere else to put an e-bike, like a good location. I'm not, I mean, I don't want to take up precious interior space. So I'm just gonna put it on the passenger seat until I get until I have a box truck partner. It'll just leave the passenger seat. I'd like to figure out some kind of a hitch situation. My friend Mark has a bicycle hitch that like tilts down, so he can tilt his hitch down and drop his gate. So I'd like to find something like that. I don't have a receiver though. I'd have to have that added, but I think I could figure something out. Giant Sword Workout says, what's the total length of your truck? My truck is 23 and a half feet bumper to bumper. I just measured it today. It is 7.5 feet wide. No, it's 8 feet wide. I'm sorry. My box exterior measurements is 8 feet wide, 23 and a half feet bumper to bumper. And from the floor to the very top of my Starlink, which is the highest point, it is 11 feet 3 inches. That's the dimensions. Din Cat says, we just bought a 98 Four Winds 21 foot. I think that's a Class C RV. In the process of renovating. Love your channel. Thank you. Happy to hear it. Good luck on the renovations. It'll definitely be easier to renovate an RV rather than building a new one from scratch. So good for you, man. Happy to hear it. Redbird's Junkie says, I'm the guy who advised you to get an air fryer. I have an air fryer, so I didn't realize it, but I have a Wonder oven. I haven't installed it yet, but my Wonder oven it has an air fryer built in. It's oven, steamer, and air fryer. So rest assured, Nomad Brad has an air fryer. You can check it off the list. World Travel Girl says, Mom said I can't do van life because I'd freeze to death in the winter. Not if you come to Arizona or Southern California. That's where I spend winters. I don't freeze. I don't freeze in the winter. Try to sell that door. I'm going to have to cut the door into pieces to get it out of here. I'm wondering what to do with it. I wonder what e-bike van life did with his door when he took it out. I guess there's probably a dump. Is there a dump in San Diego? Probably not. Maybe in like in the city. Hey, e-bike van life. Burn it on Fiesta? Oh, there you go. Hey, we could burn the rear door during the subscriber meetup. E-bike van life. Do you have an email? Is there a way for people to contact you if they want like build work done? Giant Sword Workout is asking about pricing on a rear door. So e-bike van life. If you have an email or something, drop that info. Just in general, because a lot of people are going to ask Dave, especially once I do release this video. They're gonna be wanting to ask you about that. So if you got an email or something, let me know. Mike says a one-up bike hitch carrier tilts down, and it fits, and it's first class bike carriers. Okay, there it is. One-up bike hitch carrier. That's what I need. I have to have a receiver welded on the back, and then if I get this bike carrier that tilts down, then that's what I'll do. Yeah, Geek with Social Skills says the same thing. Use the wood in the fire pit at the beach. That's what we'll do. I forget that Fiesta has those fire pits. Angel says, I know you have a dedicated heater, but would the mini split be sufficient enough to heat the box in the winter? So here's the thing with the mini split is it works great for air conditioning because when it's hot, it's also very sunny. So there's plenty of sun, so you can run the mini split all day, keep everything charged, no problem. The challenge in the winter is usually when it's cold, it's often cloudy and dark, especially overnight. So it puts in, more of a strain on your electrical system to use the mini split for heating in the winter. So it's still possible. And I'll try it out and see how it works, but I would say, uh, you just would really have to have a big solar system and battery bank if you're going to run your mini split for heating, primarily for heating. That's why I do the diesel heater. It's super efficient. And it's really, really a nice hot heat. Yeah, Flipper says it heats itself, wear a coat. The reality is the places I go aren't that cold in the winter. I only use my heat in the mornings for about maybe like 2 to 3 weeks a year. Like when I get up early, like at 6 or 7, I'll kick on the diesel heater, run it for like 2 or 3 hours and shut it off. And then as soon as the sun comes up, everything warms up and the box retains its temperature really well throughout the day. Between me being in here producing heat, the refrigerator when it's running produces heat, the electrical system produces heat. So there's still a lot of passive heating that takes place inside the rig. So unless you're in like a dedicated cold climate, like if you're in the Pacific Northwest or Colorado or Montana in the winter, then you're going to need a heater. But if you travel to follow good weather like I do, you really don't need a lot of heat, in Arizona in the winter or in California. Oh, Desert Runner Rick says put some diamond plate on the interior of the back door like Abundant. I love that. Yeah, my first box truck Abundant, I had diamond plate all around on the bottom of the walls. It was pretty cool looking. I could put it on the back door, but here's the problem. Diamond plate is aluminum, and aluminum is a very good conductor of heat. So if I have the back deck folded down and it's a sunny day, that diamond plate is going to get extremely hot. So it's going to be uncomfortable to sit on the deck in the sun. So for that reason, I have to use wood on the rear door. But diamond plate would look cool, but it wouldn't be practical for sitting on it in the sun. Giant Sword Workout says, what kind of puppy are you looking to get? I'm going to get a Boston Terrier. I've had two of them in my life, and they're great dogs. Geek with Social Skills heading out for the night. Good stream, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. Good night, Geek with Social Skills. Happy to have you here. See you on the next one. And on that note, guys, I think I'm going to head out too. We've been going for an hour and a half. It's been a great chat. You guys got to see all the updates on the plumbing, on the blacked out air conditioner, all the water pump and the accumulator tank. If you guys missed all that during the first half of the video, also the announcement of the subscriber meetup in San Diego. If you guys missed that, go back and watch the first half hour of the live stream, and you guys will be able to see a full walk around of all that stuff. I think it turned out really great. And so stay tuned for Sunday's video. It's going to be more of an in-depth video of the installation of the plumbing. Also, we're doing some stealth camping, some cooking with the induction cooktop, with the Instant Pot in the Lowe's parking lot. So check it out, and then hope to see you guys next Wednesday again at 6 p.m. Pacific. Thank you for all the super chats, all the contributions, all the chat. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next week. And it's possible next Wednesday's live stream, I will be coming to you from the road. I might be on the way to San Diego. So I'll see you guys next week. That's it for Nomad Brad signing out. Peace.